Hey, what's going on, y'all? Happy hump day. It's no noise time. I'm Z Rex. It is the 21st of February. It's just shy of noon o'clock, and it's time for some price action. Sorry I missed y'all Monday. I was out there celebrating President's Day. No, I'm just kidding. Everything was closed. I had the kiddo all day, so we went and had a little father-son play date. So that was fun. Anyway, though, let's get to talk about some price action. Got a little bit of selling pressure today and a little bit yesterday too. Quite a bit on some. Hit a funny little candle close. Let's go ahead and zoom in and check that out. Kind of a fat doji up here at the top, and there's kind of a lot of those yesterday. If they weren't kind of just downright down, if you will. Yeah, look at some of these. There's one example on Matic. This actually looked nice, little hammer candle at the top of range. But today, nope, just kidding. Just kidding. And not too surprising. A lot of stuff is right up against it's pretty much the uber breakout zone, really. Let's see. Let's go back up to Mama Bear. Nat Gas popped really hard finally off the bottom. I know it only shows 0.8% up, but it's actually up about 10% for today. Nat Gas has weird timings on when they close the futures. They close them at like 10 or 11 or something like that for the day. But it potentially could have found a bottom finally, bouncing off of its nice resistance level. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Gold was the one thing that's actually popping a little off that 2,000 level. So that's nice, but nothing really too exciting. Just a lot of sideways. Chop Fest 3,000 for the most part, and a little bit of selling pressure. So what does this mean? Bitcoin's going to probably zero. I mean, that's just what it means. It's been a good run. And this is it. Obviously, joshing. But this candle could set up as a topping type candle if it does close, especially below like 50,500 and takes out all these days up here. That wouldn't look super sexy. But again, ultimately, y'all already know what's up. As long as we're above 48,000, we can't really care too much about what it does up here because 48K, previous resistance, makes new support, and we got our first open and close weekly above 48 will this week be the next one. So we'll find out in about 4 days or so. A couple for spot, and then Sunday evening on Bitcoin. Now, if that does happen, if we get this engulfed on the weekly, now we got something to be a little bit concerned about. We haven't had one of those in a long time, like an engulfing weekly. Probably the last one was over here, this little cluster where we get right up to this resistance, and then the next week rejected. So that is a little bit of would be a bad situation, and maybe we could look for going and testing a little bit lower. About this consolidation here, like low 4,000s. I'm sorry. Whoa, not that low. Low 40,000s. But whatever. We still got a few days, so we don't need to think too hard about that. Bitcoin futures. What are Mama Bear futures doing? I'm looking about the same. Oh, let's go to total market cap. Forgot to look at that because that's kind of important right now. After we broke out of that one, or I'm sorry, wait, why is this? Oh, because I'm not on the right one. I'm like, it should be like 169, 172. Yeah, 172 and change. I'll just call it 173. That looks good. Breaking out. We got Total 2, the shitcoins breaking out. That's like a sequel. Total 2, shitcoin outbreak. Yeah, everything else looks pretty good as long as it's above that mid 165s. It is pretty damn sexy time. All right, next. Unicorn shirt man, what is he doing? Oh, getting a little bit topping type candle. Another reason I call this a topping type candle, I know this one is green, but it's because I have this algo thing painted for my colored candles. But if you can see it, it actually is down. This is the open, this is the close. So this is the first potential engulfing candle in this whole run. So I don't know. Take it for what it's worth. One candle doesn't make a trend change, but it can give us potential clues, right? And right here, too, at this trend line, it goes all the way to the bottoms, to the bottom of the abyss, at least the local bottom of about 1,000. It's a pretty important trend line. So it is natural to have a little bit of struggle at this zone. Not a big deal. Litecoin. Oh, Charlie, what the frick, dude? You couldn't even get going? Well, that sucks. And we actually talked about this in the last stream that it's kind of weird that Litecoin is not following anything. It generally likes to, it doesn't lead like Bitcoin or Ethereum, so to speak, but it does definitely like to kind of tag along for the ride, if you will. But not this time. This time we flat as shit, man. That kind of sucks. Give me 1 second. My boy is trying to holla. All right. I just got to tell him what was up real quick. Man, we're just in this range. Look, we're literally at the same price as September of 2020 trace. So yay, cool. So nothing really to see to there. Smack dab in the middle of the range. Oof. One thing that does kind of suck off this, if this candle does close like this, I mean, we're below all the EMAs now. Not great. ETC getting a little selling pressure. Meh. While it does look kind of crappy, we need more than just the candle. That needs a close too, so we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Still looks fine above about 24 handle. XRP, another one that didn't get really too going, came up, or at least they tried for a couple of days. I only say not too going. I know this looks decent, but this is only like 6% or some shit. And you can see, look at all these EMAs. The 200 daily is being very well respected by the bears, saying, nah, bitch, you ain't coming in this triangle again. Now, what would suck if these candles do kind of close on these lows that we've established so far? A lot of times we've been having a little bit deeper sell-offs. Volatility's higher in the crypto market in general, as we run potentially to the all-time highs, at least attempting to. And so a lot of these have been getting bid up over the day session, but we are starting to get a little bit heavy price action following through today, especially after yesterday. Bulls shouldn't be letting 2 days in a row get tested like this, and closing below like 54 kind of sucks, because that would take out all the EMAs in one swoop with the trend line. And if you get another open and close, especially finishing this week out sub 55 cents, you could argue that this is a false attempt to break back out and get bullish structure. So Bulls definitely got their work cut out for them, that's for sure. Oof, nasty. No love there. Okay, Tron, though, doesn't matter what anything's doing in the market, apparently. Tron has hit our 14-cent level. And, I know some of the older school coins, they didn't get to their extensions or whatever. They've been kind of lagging like little bitches, but all the other stuff has actually kind of hit most of our shorter term targets. Tron's is a little bit longer term, but beautiful. Stayed up in the bottom of the box. Now we're at the top. Is this the end of the run? You might ask. It's a tough one, man. Let's pull a fib real quick. Let's pull some fibbies. See where we're at. I think we're close to the 786. Yeah, we are. See, so really it doesn't get out of the total bullish, or I'm sorry, bullish. Well, whatever. It really doesn't get out of the woods until you clear this 15.75 area. Or we can just kind of look left and look at this high, which is close to 1420. Of course it is. So yeah, I'd expect a little bit of stalling right here, most definitely. You can see the bears have been in the forgotten zone for quite a long time now. Longer than it's been since shit all the way back, maybe kind of over here in this cluster. But it's deep retrace. We're at like, what number is this? Hold up. Wow, 469. Of course it's 469. What else could it be? So last time we even saw that low was back over here in May of 2022 and August of 2021. So it's been a hot minute, y'all. All right, so 14-cent handle, definitely some good resistance there. So it wouldn't be a surprise to take a break. We can't just go straight up and to the right forever. All right, DOT. DOT still looks okay on this weekly here. Trying to break out. As long as it holds that 6.5 zone, it's okay. But again, selling pressure. Bears trying to make themselves known. We'll see how the Bulls react over the rest of the week, and definitely into the weekend will be very important how these weekly closes. Still looks fine though, above about mid 50s. Let's see, you can see here too. Look, here's another example of hitting that major resistance. So it's very normal to take a little liquidation break on the first attempt of major structure, because we start getting above these like December and last year highs. I mean, that's starting to get into what you might call moonshot mode. Link, Link kind of missed its target a little bit, all the way up here at 24. Getting a little bit heavy here, but does have still great support in the 17 handle. So until it really starts building at least some candles in the 17 handle, whatever. Bulls can take a break. It's okay. It just potentially could set up to something else. But we'll talk about that later. Maybe on Friday we'll get some more data. Oh, damn, magenta. I was mixing magenta and candle there. Magenta candle of doom. Although look where it's stopping, right at the EMAs. Now, if it does close below this and gets into the below 74 on today, that would look kind of nasty. But it's EOS. Do y'all really care? BCH. Look, it's just making higher highs, higher lows. All it's got to do is hold this like 240-ish area. Maybe these are buy the dip opportunities, which, technically speaking, on that note, we are in that regime right now. We are in buy the dip mode until Bitcoin breaks major structure, a la probably that, 38K-ish zone, or it open and closes below the 21 weekly EMA for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. That would be like pretty much the only times I would turn off buy the dip mode at this point. All right, moving on. BCH. BSV. Double aw. Craig wants to be named as Satoshi, apparently. And if you don't, then he's coming for you or something. I don't know what the hell. He's a weird-ass dude. But, man, still looks okay above about 70-ish. Getting a little heavy, though. Getting a little heavy. No momentum anywhere. Kind of blah. Weekly squeeze between the 200 and the EMAs. Generally not my favorite place to take trades, but given this potential coming out of this structure here, it's still fine above about 69.69. XMR, poor XMR. Yesterday's candle actually defying the rest of the market, engulfing the attempt from the bears to take it down. That's actually pretty good. We start seeing that at the end of the week for all these other coins that are starting to get a little pressure today. That would actually be pretty sexy. And you could argue, because this looks like a 618 kind of retracement zone here. Yes, it is, right off of the money. So that's actually is pretty sexy. And as long as Monero is holding about 110, you could argue this is potential bulls trying to get sexy time. Losing 110, though, oof, nasty. Then 100 is your line in the sand on that. Oh, Zcash couldn't do it. But look, it just ran to the 200. That's fine. Beautiful move. Hope some of y'all got that one. We talked about that one way too much, how this pattern, this H pattern was beautiful. And look what we're actually doing. We broke out of the H pattern, hit kind of that target zone we were looking for at that 200, kind of playing out almost like clockwork. And now it's just testing the upper part of the hump on the H right here. And so that's pretty actually sexy. As long as it holds about $23, this could be a very good rebuy zone. Dash is, well, we're getting vol flashes at the top of the run. That does not happen super often. But, man, we get in a couple of days, like at the end of this week, just floating above 28. I mean, y'all, that would be chrono crossing on the daily. Let's jump out to the weekly. Nothing really going on the weekly. Trying to base out here, but that's about it. Man, I hope I remember this chart that I was looking at last night to talk about. Oh, looky here. Doge. It's pumping. Look, it did finally make a higher high. About damn time. And off the bodies, at least. Oh, and off the wick yesterday, too. You can see we went right to that 9-cent handle. There's something about the 9-cent handle that is uber resistance on Dogecoin. If we just get probably a few days open and close above 9 again, because you can even look over here. We technically only got, let's see, hold up. We can count this one, close enough. You can technically only got 3 right here, and then immediately engulfed all 3 of them and rolled over. So, yeah. 3 daily open and closes, and getting out of this little range above 10 cents would look uber sexy. Right now, it's just taking a little breather, but hey, it did set in a higher high, so that's cool. STX doesn't give a shit about anything except going up. Looks great above about 215. No problems there. TrueFi coming back and just retesting. A lot of these actually do look like they're just kind of retesting structure. So if that's the case, let's go. Higher highs on the weekly, higher lows. Looks fine as long as it's kind of grinding up this trend line. Nothing to see there. Hey, XRD. Hope some of y'all got this one too. We were talking about this for a long time, and it gave you uber opportunity, ample opportunity, whatever freaking word you want to use there. Beautiful pump there. Now look what it's doing. Just retesting the major horizontal. All it's got to do is stay above about the 4.7, 4.6 handle. Looks good. Like it. Wow, this thing went all the way to 54, right up against the major resistance point, as you can clearly see at 5.5 pennies. Moving on to the V-Chain. Uber pumping V-Chain still looks fine above like upper 3 handle, about 3.8 or so. But look, yeah, we just rallied right to the 200. This is the kind of pretty much the MO of most of these charts. They've just run to their next spot and they're just taking little liquidation breaks. Not a huge deal. Not a huge deal yet. Can it turn into one? Of course, anything can happen. But right now, it's fine. Taking out these EMAs like this would kind of suck. We still got 6 hours almost for the daily to close, but let's jump out to the weekly real quick. Above about 880. As long as it's above about 880, this is pretty good. And you can see it has not hit its 200 weekly yet, like some of the stronger ones, which resides around $14. Yeah, other than that, it looks fine. Just stay above like mid-9s. It's fine. Osmos never pumped, man, on this recent pump of the last, couple of weeks. So that's kind of weird. Sideways as hell. I thought it would get some Momo, but you can see it already kind of hit its mega resistance at 225. And bulls haven't tried to even take a stab at it yet. I mean, look how neutral these oscillators are. Both the RSI and the DMI, uber super neutral. So really, it's just ranging between about 140 and that 220 area. And until it's out of that range, whatever. Ton, oh, poor Ton gave it a little vol flash fake pump out. That does happen sometimes. And as long as it holds $2, it's okay. But man, bulls getting tested here. That's for sure. Spaghetti freaking EMAs. Best thing on this is probably just the structure and the attempt of the, let's see, actually. Oh, no, not even attempt. This is neutral. Why don't I have my horizontals drawn on this? Let's get those on right now. There we go. Yeah, nothing going on really on the Momo there. Don't lose excuse me. Words. Don't lose 2 to 210. That would be nasty. Oh, Matic. Oh, that would be kind of gross, and we didn't make a higher high. Nah, even high, kind of a funky ass crown head, complex head and shoulders type looking thing here. I don't know. But hey, I love this weekly open and close above the trend line from the all-time highs. This is actually pretty sexy. We can turn this into a bump and run pattern, which is one of the most successful charting patterns in existence. So yeah, this is kind of sexy. And if you don't know what bump and runs is, they kind of bump up against the of like a major trend line like this. Maybe if I can get my drawing tool out, boom, 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 and then they bump it, bam, 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 and they do exactly how I'm drawing it. Apparently, so bump and run up, and then sometimes they do a little deeper retrace and come and test like that, and then they usually run pretty hard. So this is set up pretty damn nicely as long as it's staying above 80 cents. This could be a pretty good trade here. Yeah, just saying. ES. Let's go to trad market. The traditionals are barely holding on here, losing a little bit of momentum. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, Bulls have lost their momentum, and look how close the Bears are. So this is actually a pretty good test from the Bears. And if they can get below like 49.20-ish, the top of this magenta candle, that would look pretty nasty. And I'd actually look for a test of this cluster here. We haven't seen that yet. And so that resides at about 48 hundos. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, other than that, you can see it's struggling from the low. This trend line right here, by the way, y'all, if y'all aren't super familiar with the show, this bitch goes all the way to the lows too from October. So we're kind of doing that in crypto land. We're kind of doing that also in traditional markets, trying to really get the Momo going for bulls. I know it looks really good here and all that. The Momo is pretty much there, but above these trend lines is a big, big shift, technically speaking. And NASDAQ tried to do it, you can see here, but now it's starting to put in a little bit of distribution type pattern over the last, now that we have a couple, like a week or so more candles on this attempt. That lot of resistance at 18.3 has come to fruition, and we are kind of losing the 200, the 21. And right atop the magenta candle, the same kind of place that ES has one, and we start getting a little lower than 12. Man, what the hell is wrong with me? It's kind of like Monday for me, I guess. I don't know. Let me make another excuse. Anyway, 12. I did it again. 17, 4-ish. And then below that, again, same thing with like ES, just this little cluster looking left with ultimate mega support at, y'all already guessed it, this horizontal at mid 16,000s. The Dow, what is the Dow doing? Yeah, pretty neutral. Very neutral, actually. Weirdly enough, even in all this action right here of the new highs, it's there's like barely any 26 plus reads. Look at this. There's 1, 2. There's 220, which I call the power zone above 26. So there's literally 2 in all of this at new highs. That's a little bit sus, not gonna lie. And as long as it's above 38K, it looks okay. But we start losing that, I think filling this gap down here and losing, a couple thousand points could easily be in the cards. I mean, this is kind of funky here. Rallying on no Momo. That one's a little concerning. That's probably one of the more concerning charts. For the Bulls anyway. Failed little breakout attempt. Retesting, though, the zone. Is this just retesting this little basing pattern? It will be considered that as long as it does not lose 1980. We lose 1980, that can be negated. We don't need that. Next, the trannies. What are the trannies doing? Oh, man. Magenta Candle of Doom was printed last week. Uh-oh. The weekly still looks really good, though, above like mid 15,000s. Daily? Bears have the Momo actually now on the daily. Okay, that's a little concerning. See, and that's funny because the Dow's chart is looking a little bit sus. And then now we have the trannies, the Dow trannies kind of confirming the sus confirmation. All right, let's see, man. It needs to get back above 15.8. A little bit heavy. Obviously do have major support at 15 flat, but I guess maybe 15K handle is just the Chop Fest 3000. Dax says, let's go up and up, although no Momo really needs to hold on to that 16.9. Hell yeah. VIX popping. Oh, shit, y'all. All right. So, as I was just discussing, Dow looking kind of weird and the trannies looking a little bit bearish. Look at that. Look at the volatility index, man. VIX looks like it wants to make another higher high. This pattern right here, we touched on it a little bit last week. This is actually very indicative of VIX pops. This higher high, kind of flat line, barely incremental higher high, like a little pump, and it takes a long time. It's pretty much this whole year. Very interesting. Since the beginning of the year, we've kind of been looking towards March, around that meeting that's going to be some fireworks coming up, and we're almost already there, guys. I know it's crazy. It's already freaking the 21st of February. Insanity. Time goes way too fast. Let's see here. Man, yeah, interesting. VIX is really kind of pointing to a potential breakout. Yeah. Watch that VIX chart, man, especially VVIX. We start getting back into the 90s. Uh-oh. All right, Earl. What's Earl doing? Oh, just grinding up the trend line right on the 200. I mean, this actually looks pretty good, and we should, by next week, into the month, probably have resolution off this trend line because it can only go sideways pretty much until the first before it's forced to go through it. Interesting. This does look pretty bullish to me. I like this setup by the bulls on Earl. We need to see if we can get above like 78.5 though again. Just one little test. If we did that, I would really start to think that this bitch is going to break out. And God, that would be terrible for inflationary pressures. I know everybody's getting strained as it is now with food and all the prices of shit just up, up, and up. So oil is the baseline of all of that shit. So it'll make it go up more. Yay. Nat gas. Look at this. Are we finally going to bump and run on nat gas? We potentially could be doing that. You can see we have a nice girthy candle of 10% today. Finally, bulls trying to make themselves known, but we need at least next week probably all the price action to kind of deduce a little bit more better if this is going to be a bottom. But if you're aggressive and want to play that one above 160 dip buying on this, you could definitely argue that point for sure. Oh, poor T-bond futures. They're just going down. The 30-year ain't looking too good. Let's just look at TNX. That's easier. We can just look at one. Oh, shit, y'all. Chrono Cross on TNX right around 420. You already know that's the level we've been watching like a hawk. Once we got over 420, guess what stopped? Guess what stopped above 420? The rally. Yep, that's right. See? Same shit here. This is very critical. The bond market's smarter than most markets. It's one of the largest on the planet. And so faking out the bond market is a lot more difficult than most other crap. And it's more sensitive to all that shit, rates, etc., blah, blah, blah. And so this is kind of flagging out. That's why we've been harping on that 420 level. This is a good example also real quick of a bump and run pattern. Bloop, 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 bloop. Anyway, watch LA, man. If this thing keeps staying above 420, I think there is major headwinds on the markets. And that also carries over to crypto land too, you know. So I've actually been thinking about taking off some positions here, hedging with some futures and a little bit of options. So I'm kind of waiting to see how today closes and kind of the end of the week, and I might do that. But just because, you know, that mid 50,000 range is mega, uber, super duper. I don't know any other adjectives for that. Serious. We got to get above that for the mega bulls to come into town. Right now, this is just like could be a super big like run up into the halving and then selling the news kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Another month and a half away. Yay. We don't need to rush it, though. Shit, by that time, it'll already be freaking April. And a third of the year will be gone. Jesus. US dollar obviously looking good, too, on the backs of TNX. Euro, nah, not looking great because it's inverse of the dollar pretty much. Gold bouncing lovely off that 2K level, getting above this trend line. That looks nice. See if we can keep going. We need to make a higher high on this structure, man. It's looking real bitchy right now. Silver just trying to keep bouncing off the 22.5. I mean, it's done it only like 1,400 times. Here's another one. Hey, look what silver did do, though, at least. It did make a higher high against its local high. So that's cool. Potentially making a little W basing pattern right here. Right around 22. Let's see what next week brings us. See if we can close a little bit more better than this. I mean, look at these. All the EMAs are literally within like 3 pennies of each other on a weekly. When does that even happen? Here's one right here. That is pretty rare. Pretty damn rare. Few times in the last 20-something years. So, oh, poor platinum. Like I said, needs to be over 950 or don't care. Palladium, it needs to be above 1,000 or don't care. All right, moving on to the blockchain stuff. let's go look at. Oh, look, see, coin is a good example of rallying right up to the previous highs late last year, and rolling over a little bit. Let's see, nothing too crazy yet. Let's just look at our index because that's more important. I think this gives a better idea. This actually made higher highs. That's sexy. And look where we are. We're just retesting this. So this actually bodes well for just, a little bullish retracement action on Cryptolandia. And as long as this is above about 730-ish, we don't have to get too worried. Losing 730 though on this would start to spell some bearish pressure, and maybe we get back down to the upper 40s. I think at best case scenario, and we start breaching all that, and then we're gonna have some other things to talk about. That's for sure. Anything else on here that looks decent? No, well, just kind of sell pressure everywhere. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to look at. Oh, god dang it, not that one either. I wanted to go here because look what Nvidia finally got a little bit of a breather yesterday, retesting its breakout zone. Look, it's actually attempting to break it today at that 680 level. It's still above the 21, but kind of interesting. And earnings are after the bell today. Man, so it's pretty much this stock is so wild that it's earnings probably for tomorrow and by Friday. It's probably either going to be like 620 or it's going to be at all-time highs. This stock is just beast mode, man. It really is. Let's see, what else do we got? I think that's it. Let's go look at your stocks there, Mr. Casey Lewis. And then I got to sign off today. I'm trying to do a little quicker show. SIBO. Oh, the good old option boys in Chicago. Let's see. What are they talking about? Shit. They're talking about suck it, Bears. Holy crap, dude. Wow. This actually broke out back last summer. Beautiful. Beautiful chart. Looks very good above 184. About 184. Looks pretty nice. Higher highs. I mean, this is a great looking chart. Losing 184 though. Then we can start looking at this as a distribution, potentially building like a rounded top. I mean, obviously there's a lot of structure left to do so. But I'm just saying, as if we started building structure below 184, we would probably see that. But other than that, it looks very good. And we're blue sky breakout mode. So nice round numbers, like 200's probably a good resistance point on this. Just kind of looking at the chart easy. What do you got there, bud? Yep, targeted 200, 187. Let's get it. Money. What is this one? DBD. I don't know if I've heard of that one. DBD is Diebold Nixdorf. Is that the battery company? I think that's the battery company, right? Pretty sure. Engages in land. No, it's not. It's something else. Okay, well, big ass company. Man, made a shit ton of money. Q3. What the shit happened there? All right, I don't really know anything about this company, but they look bullish as hell above $32. I do know that. Looks pretty new too. A little IPO action or something here. Yeah, it looks beautiful above about low 30 handle. And I mean, target on this, we're going to have to pull fib kind of. But look, there's not really, this thing is traded weird, man. It's like the volume looks low to me. Yeah, the volume is real low on this. You can kind of tell by these, by these funky ass candles that like aren't really big, and they're very, I mean, look how tight these are. That's usually indicative of like low volume stuff. So that is noteworthy. I don't really like to trade low volume stocks that much. But let's put a trend line on here because we clearly got that one. As long as it's above mid 30s, and a fib extension, I guess, off of this mini structure would be, man, like probably 40. It's kind of sloppy though. I'd say like mid to upper 30s. A little bit harder one there. What you got there? Yeah, okay. So that's about right there. That's about what I was thinking too. What you wrote. Nice. Ferguson PLC all-time highs. Looks like they got earnings coming up. Oh, that's still a ways away. In March, it looks like first week of March. Looks very good above about 195. And then if we pull some fibbies on there, let's do that. Fibby extensiano. Yeah, about 210-ish, and then probably 220 after that. Just go by every like $10 increments or so. And some people use like pivots and R1s and stuff like that too. You can also use those. They're almost all derived from about the same shit anyway. Actually, they are, aka price. Let's see what you got on that one. 203. Stop loss 193. Up. Yep. Looks good. Up 220. Bam. Pretty much. So we think alike. We think alike, my friend. ABN. Yeah, it looks a little sloppy here. Here's another very indicative chart of shit volume. Let's see. It says 2.3 million. I don't know. That's crazy because generally you don't see candles like this with that much volume. So that's a little suspect. Let's see. They're killing it though, making shit ton of money. What is this? A bank? Oh, yeah. Good old banks. ICC Bank. Dude, is this a joke bank? What is this? All right, short this one all the way to 0. This is kind of sus as F, dude. This is sussif, man. All right, here we go. Let's look at the weekly. It looks better. Up and to the right, I guess this bank says suck my ball sack, suck my money sack. Looks very good above 24.20. Kind of crazy. Weird chart above about mid 24 handle. It looks good. And if we pull a Fibioso, we'll use this to hold this structure. We're at the 26 handle would be our first target on this. So let's see, IBN looking for long at 26. Okay, that's a little bit different than how I would do it. You're waiting for it to break out a little bit more. I mean, overall though, this does look pretty damn good. EMA is strongly pointing up. Momo very strong in the Bulls' favor. I mean, above that 24.69 level, it's all good in the hood. And you got a little bit, let's see, a little bit deeper. I wouldn't take 21 on this one. So this is where we disagree here. There's no way in hell I would take this all the way to 21.69. You have this gap in how this structure's formed right here, kind of a little mini saucer. I mean, once it pretty much loses like 23.50, it's almost guaranteed that it's going to go test 22. So that's the only way I would adjust that a little bit. I don't think it's necessary to ride, this whole 8-10%-ish downside move when if it breaks just this part of the flag kind of structure, yeah, that's kind of your first clue there. So that was probably my least favorite so far. Vista. Let's see. Holy shit. Up and to the right, minimal sell-offs. It just, although this sell-off's bigger than it looks, that's about 30-40%. But I guess it doesn't matter when it goes up and up and up. There's that funny video from like 9 years ago. If you've been in crypto a long time, you've definitely seen it. And it's about like, remember that one time when Bitcoin went from like 5 cents to like 40 cents and then it crashed? And then it's like, remember that other time when it went from like 30 cents to like $3 and then it crashed? And then remember that other time? And then he keeps going through all the cycles of doing that. And at the very end of it, he just goes, so the moral of the story is don't buy Bitcoin. Obviously, he's being silly and a little snarky and sarcastic, but it's pretty hilarious. If you want to watch it, just type in YouTube, don't buy Bitcoin crash, and it should pop up. All right, anyway, moving on. Vista V. Long at 35. Oh, crap, I'm getting ahead of myself. I like to look at these before I see your numbers. All right, so I only saw the 35. All right, above 32, upper 32 handle looks fine. And we can pull fib on this. So we got earnings coming up real soon. Actually, tomorrow. So be mindful of that. And depending where we pull the fib, we've got like upper 30s. Pretty much like 38 to 40 is the target on this. And again, earnings tomorrow. So Yeah, be mindful of that. I probably wouldn't take this trade just because of the earnings tomorrow. I usually don't like to front run earnings unless I'm selling premium around them. Let's see. And you got 35.63, which you're not technically even triggered yet anyway for your long. So, yeah, not too bad. Target 38.88. Oh, lucky number 38.88. Yeah, that one's good. In line with what I would be looking for too, as well. And TRV, Travelers Insurance. Yay, everyone's favorite style of company. Look at this garbage, dude. Dude, bros. Dude, bros. Wow. Up to the right only. Mega support at about 195. Ratcheting down. Man, this bitch is going ham, dude. 195 on the weekly as well. 195 on the monthly. Daily, though, is this gap is 205. Because if 205 breaches, we probably go to 195 instantly. So I would use that as kind of my stop around 205, 200-ish. And we can probably look for... Hold on, let's go back out to the weekly. Man, we've already hit some deep extensions, man. Oh, we're right at the 1618, actually. I stand corrected. Man, this is a tough one. Because just right up at this 220 at the first extension off this structure, that's a little bit risque. So for this, I'd rather see it open and close above 220 probably for a few days before I felt comfortable longing up here. Because literally this is the first extension, and it's the first week that it's coming up to test it. But if I had to trade it, I'd be using a daily, and as long as it's above 205-ish, then I would probably look for a little bit of continuation, maybe 240, 250. This one I feel like is a little bit more risky, what you got here. Oh, you're being conservative on that one. Long at 221. Stopping out at 217. Oh, wow, you're being... Whoa, man, why are you so conservative on this one? That's not even like barely a percent. That's very out of character for you. If you care to elaborate on that one of why your numbers, that doesn't fall in line with your risk parameters generally. I mean, I know the 2-to-1 is kind of what you target, but as far as like your breathing room on that, I mean, that's like nothing, bro. That is nothing. That's going to be a tough trade, in my opinion, for that to play out. Like always, appreciate the contributions, my man. Good to see you again. Hope you're having an awesome hump day. All right, wrap this bitch up. I didn't remember what the freaking stock I was looking at yesterday, but damn it, I wish that I did because it was making a textbook Wyckoff accumulation, and I can't remember what the shit it is. Damn it. Well, if I remember, I will post it in the... I will post it on my ideas page. Damn it. Which one was that? Yeah, no problem, dude. Thank you again, man. Really appreciate you coming in here and hanging out. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't remember. Damn it. Because it was like so beautiful. I was excited to talk about it today. I got to get better at like writing notes and doing a little bit better outlining before the show. Yeah, shit. Well, shnikes. Well, maybe I'll remember it later. Probably remember it right after I turn the stream off. Anyway, Mama Bear, don't you be a bitch. Don't you do it. Just stay up here. It's fine. You're fine. Get a little cell pressure. That's okay. You can't go up and to the right forever. Got to take little liquidation breaks. As long as we're above that 48K, y'all know it's all good in the hood. And that would actually be more than likely a re-entry point for buy the effing dip, if you will. So that's nice. Ethereum in the same kind of vein. Obviously, it's 2,700. All these numbers have been the same for a long time, many, many moons. We just had to wait for the candles to print atop them. Let's go actually look at GBDC. Oh, look at this. Now, this line, I just put this on over the weekend or recently in the last week or two because I just kind of noticed, what was it on the weekly, I think I drew it off of. Yeah, I drew it off the weekly, kind of off all this body structure here and this little fake out. And then notice it lines up good with here. So usually I already have my horizontals on there. If you're fans of the show, you know that I've got horizontals lingering for years before they get touched. This one I did just draw, so I'm not going to try to claim that that one was there all the time or whatever. But it's just a really good reference for me. And for this, that above this, man, is party mode. It's akin to that 56, 58,000 level for Bitcoin. And so, and also GBDC is kind of a leader in price action. I don't really want to say that out loud because I don't like. Oh, I just saw something on my desk that my son just put. Sorry, I just got like an all moment. He put some stuff that we did together and some Valentine's Day cards right on my desk, like in a little line for me. Ah, dang. If you don't have kids, man, you should have them. They are freaking awesome. Yeah, there are headaches and stuff, but whatever. All their badass and unconditional love, man, is something I don't think anything compares to it, man. It is freaking awesome. Unless you're just a shit parent. And we know there's a lot of those. Hell, you might have had one yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think that's fairly common. All right, anyway, dominance. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah, it looks fine up here. We're not even close to the 60s. It looks like we're kind of just getting started, y'all, with some bullish dumping today. That's all this is. Man, Matic getting hit harder, dude. Damn, dude. Bro, Matic. Hey, you know what? Let's just get all this shit over with in a day or two and then just resume the rally. You know, that's fine. I think everybody would like that. And that actually is kind of what happens when we get into uber bull mode on crypto. We just get like these big kind of quick flash jumps intra-week. Then by the end of the week, they're pretty much just all gobbledygooped it up. I would have liked to see this make a higher high, though, on Matic. What the hell? Why you being a little bitch? And the struggles are a little bit real on the Dow and the tranny index and just the Dow in general. Getting a little bit of signs of some exhaustion, but we need some more candles. So let's see how this week closes, and definitely the month, because the month will be closing in not that long, next week, right? Next Friday. Yeah, so it'll be next Thursday. And wow, so Friday will actually be a farm payroll day too, because it's the first Friday of every month, and that one actually falls in on the 1st. And I am still anticipating some fireworks for March. So, all right, guys, much love. Appreciate y'all joining in. I hope y'all have a lovely rest of your hump day. We will catch y'all on Friday. Let's see. Okay, no notifications to shout out. We will catch y'all on Friday. This is No Noiz. I am Z Rex. Peace.